Hello and welcome to Dickinson's Real Deal. When it comes to members of the public, they can be very, very tricky, more so than our dealers.
I'd like a little bit more, please, if I may.
You're sounding like Oliver Twist.
Mike Tyson, Frank Bruno. That much of a fight.
And what did you pay for it?
I couldn't tell you, you'd burst into tears.
So was he bluffing me?
Oh, yeah.
When you go to auction, hopefully we get you more money there, but it's always a gamble.
700 bids, 700.
Still sound cheap to me.
900, 900, 950.
Oh yes, I've got the idea.
We are sold at 950.
Today the show comes to you from Wolverhampton. Just look at this crowd. There's an excitement in the air, there's a buzz. They're all here for one reason, and one reason only. They want the real deal.
It might be the first deal of the day, but let's hope Debbie Serple isn't expecting Laura to hand this little lot to her on a plate.
Blush ivory, highly collectible. The name's very good, Royal Worcester. I'm interested in buying it from a purely commercial sense.
I know the market isn't what it was with the blush ivory, but I'd like at least 200.
Laura, how did you come by all this Royal Worcester?
It was my grandmother's.
Right.
She invested her money that she made through her business in Royal Worcester. And there's just been this little bit left, you know.
Well, we're looking at blush ivory, aren't we? Which is that lovely, almost creamy colour. This little series here has almost certainly been part of a set. And this little one is standalone from these, I would suggest.
It's a separate entity,
It's a separate thing altogether.
Yes, it is, yeah.
And I had a little look. I do actually quite like these because they have a botanical feel to them, don't they? I would think this set went on and on and on and on. It would have been vast at one point in its life.
I didn't know what that was called. I thought it was a compote or something.
A compote, you could describe it as that. I mean, it just basically depends on how you would choose to use it. And I would think these came in various sizes in this enormous set, and it would have been worth a fortune when it was first bought. Like all Royal Worcester pieces, they're very well marked. And underneath there's this very distinctive Royal Worcester mark. And with the right books, it's very easy to date these down to the actual year of manufacture. But I'm guessing these are about 1880, that sort of period.
Yeah.
Good thing is they are all in pretty good condition. Have you got a figure in mind?
I don't know. I just want to do the best I can for my father.
Sure.
And I don't know what that figure might be.
Right, Laura, let's get cracking. 50, £100 for your blush ivory.
No, I think I want a little bit more.
How much is a little bit?
I don't know. What do you think?
You're so good at this poker game.
What do you... I'm not good at that.
120. I'm getting very close to where I feel comfortable because I have actually bought these plates in the past and I know what I could buy them at a trade fair now.
Got you. What about the vase?
Yeah, I'm going to offer you another 20 and then for me, I think I'm out.
Yeah.
So that's £140 for the set. Yes, we got a deal? Fantastic.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Laura.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think Laura was very realistic. I think it will give me a little bit of profit. And I think both of us will have done quite well.
I think it was very fair and I'm pleased. I'm pleased they've gone to a good house. Yeah, I'm happy.
Not quite the £200 you were after, but as long as you're happy, so are we. Across the den, it's Janet's turn to sit down with David Tutman. But will he be a sweetheart?
You've brought in a piece of contemporary jewellery, yeah? Why are you selling it?
Well, David, I was working on a cruise ship earlier this year on a world cruise as a social hostess, and one of the passengers very kindly gave me this as a gift.
And you don't wear it?
I wore it once for a cocktail party.
Yeah.
I just thought it was really nice, and it's 2.5 carats, and it's 14 carat gold. Right.
Did he buy it on the cruise ship itself?
Yeah, it was from the onboard shops, and it cost, I do believe, $3,500.
God. What can I say? I mean, right. Okay, well, let's have a look at it. I mean, it's very pretty, in the shape of a heart, and then diamonds all the way around. It's a very sweet, very pretty thing, isn't it? If we turn it over, there don't appear to be any hallmarks on it at all. And what carat gold?
14 carat gold.
I think it's 14 carat white gold. Well, it's very sweet, and I don't really know. One's been stopped in one's tracks a bit, because the price that's been paid for this is going to have so little relation to how much I'm going to put on the table and offer you for it.
Yeah. Oh well, see what
I'll put some money down and let's see what happens. I can put down 50, 100.
Keep going.
Keep going. 110, 120, 130, 140 pounds.
Ooh. Now, if it had been a few more of those big ones, I'd have been happy with that.
That's sort of my offer, really.
It's a little bit low.
I'm embarrassed about this £140, David.
Well, I think the problem is this was bought at a retail price, and of course the margin of profit would be quite enormous. But I mean, I don't think that means a great deal. The question is, what can this be sold for today? They are saying 200 to 300. I think there's quite a lot for your money within that price range. So I'm going to say that's not enough. It is worth gambling, and I think coming to the auction. So that's what I would do.
Thank you.
Well, I'm going to just put down a little bit more money, Janet. I'm going to put down 150, 160, 170 pounds.
Well, if you don't mind swapping all of those 10s there for a couple more 50s.
Even with that lovely smile, Janet, I'm not going to, no, I can't. That 170 pounds is my limit for it.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your offer, but I think I'd like to take my chances at the auction.
Great, well, I think it's probably the right thing to do, Janet, and I hope it does really, really well for you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed for bringing it in. What a lovely lady Janet was. I think that it's well worth the money. It's just, what do I do with it? I don't know. I'd have to give it away, probably.
Let's see what auctioneer Richard Winterton has to say.
Should she have taken it? I probably think so. If we're going to get the 200, I'm not confident. But we'll see how we go, see what the auction does.
Oh dear, break a leg, Janet.
Just see, how did you dance with them? So you were dancing closely like this, and some elderly gentleman took a real shine to you.
Yeah.
The reserve is £200 today. I think that's good value for money. What's it going to fetch? Well, let's see if it dances its way out of the sale room. It's coming up over there.
We now this time commission bids on the book. I'm in at 100. For 100 bid, 120, 130, 140, 150.
His hands in the air, in the room. The room's full.
200, 200 in 240, 240, 260, 260 in...
That's the £200 reserve on the internet.
260, 260, 260. Rooms out. We are sold. 260. Internet bid.
Gavel's gone down at 260. That was an internet bidder against the room. I make that £213 to take home. Your first reaction?
Well, I'm just so pleased that it's sold, and I'm really happy with that, yeah.
So, on the day, 260 quid, taking home £213. Real deal.
But not everyone is that easy to please.
£200.
No thanks.
£250. £300.
No thank you.
Can Stuart make Robert say yes? And also coming up, Karen's not finding it any easier.
How does that sound to you, £70?
A bit mean.
Does it?
Come on, dealers, you've got to do better than that.
where have you been? Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal.
Next up is Robert, who has brought in a bass guitar. But will Stuart Hofgartner put down the right notes?
I've kept it for the last 10 years, trying to find value of it, but how much it's actually worth, I'm not too sure.
It's a left-handed guitar, which is a little bit different. It's a good make. It's got all the right ingredients.
Stuart is making all the right noises. Could be your lucky day, Robert.
Tell me what you know about it and how you came by it.
It's a Burns London RT bass guitar. It's left-handed with a 3/4 neck. I do believe it was one of the first guitars made by Burns, 58 to 60.
Right.
Because it's got no serial number on the guitar at all. I've checked it all over, I can't find a serial number on it at all. From 1960 onwards, serial numbers were put on the guitars. Now, whether that makes it more or less valuable, I'm not too sure, because I don't play guitar, I actually play drums.
Right, and the make, is it has continued as being a good make?
Yeah, Burns are a good make of guitar, yeah, as far as I know. I've had 1 or 2 people look at it, and they've said it's all original as far as I can tell. It's got trisonic pickups on it. It does work, and it looks like the original strings are still on there.
Yeah, it does, I thought so too.
I know it's a bit dusty, and maybe 1 or 2 scratches on it, but that might make it a bit more original. I've no idea who owned it before, but it was a friend of the father-in-law who he passed away apparently, and my father-in-law was helping to clear this house out, and he found this on top of a skip.
And that person didn't have any involvement in a rock band or anything like that?
I'm not sure.
Because things like this, you see, what lifts them is a provenance. If you can prove that this belonged to, I don't know, we'll say Jimi Hendrix or someone, then the money is like hits the roof. It's fantastic money.
Yeah.
You don't wish to keep it?
I've played it once or twice, but apart from that, not my cup of tea.
Okay, well I quite fancy it. I don't think I'll ever play it, but I quite fancy it. So let's have a go at buying it. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160, 180, £200.
No thanks.
No thanks. You're pretty certain about that?
Now, I had a feeling about this. You know, Johnny Be Good, 1958, 1960, right in your era.
I know.
Bass guitar, that period, £300 to £400. Seems to be in very, very nice original order. It's got to be worth more than that. It's got a look of a good late 50s, 60s animal, that. Right up your street. Can you imagine walking down the street with your finely tailored Edwardian suits, with that slipped over your shoulder? You'd stop the street, mate.
He likes it, doesn't he? He likes it. £250.
No thanks.
£300.
No thank you.
That's my price.
Bang another 50 quid on top of there, and you can have it.
300's my price, I'm afraid.
325. It's a deal.
Okay.
300.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I could have ended up with less. Then again, I could have had more. But until I'm now 100% sure of what it's worth, it's like a shot in the dark, isn't it, really?
It's an unknown for me, but I've got a feeling it's all right.
You'll only know for sure if you sell it on for a profit.
Behind the scenes, we've got a team of experts. They check and inspect every single item before they're placed in front of our dealers. And it's their independent valuation that you see coming up on your screen.
Across the den, will Gina's pocket watch tick all of Karen Delmini's boxes?
Loving the next lot, pocket watch and chain, fingers crossed it's gold, and fingers crossed the customer's going to be impressed with a whole heap of money going down.
I would like £120 for it.
Sounds cheap for a gold watch, Gina. Let's find out more.
I can see straight away we've got this lovely little gold or gold-plated, we don't know yet, pocket watch. And I'm guessing this wasn't yours originally.
No, it was my great-uncle who went to America in either 1910 or 1918, I'm not quite sure which, and he was security guard for the Perkins Blind Institute.
All right.
And this is what he used to wear when
Really?
he was working there.
And you haven't got anyone in the family that you care to leave
I
it
can't
to?
see my 37-year-old son wearing it.
No, I suppose not.
Which is a bit sad.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's got my uncle's initials, great-uncle's initials on there.
It's funny you should mention that your great-uncle worked in America, because if we have a look at this little watch here, we can see straight away that the make is actually Waltham, which is an American make. They were doing masses and masses of pocket watches. They did them in gold, they did it in gold plate. And so my job is to have a good old look at this and see what category this falls into. And oh, Gina, how I'd love to tell you that it's gold, but this particular one's gold plated, isn't it?
If you say so,
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's gold plated. But that doesn't mean to say that the fob chain is the same, and I don't think it is.
No, I don't. I know it isn't because I bought it.
Yeah. So this one's a little 9-carat chain, quite a lovely little chain actually, quite decorative. The bar
is not gold.
Is not gold. Oh, you know your stuff, Gina, don't you? Wow, you're as sharp as a razor. Gina, I would love to give you loads of money. Unfortunately, this isn't going to come to a huge amount, but I'm going to do my best. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 pounds, Gina. How does that sound to you, 70 pounds?
A bit mean.
Does it? I'll be absolutely honest. There's about 90 pounds here on a good day in gold. So I'm not actually making a huge amount here. I just want you to see where I'm going so that you can see I'm not being greedy.
Still would like some more.
Would you?
Please, yes.
There's another tenner. And I'm going to stop there, Gina. That is me done, that's £80.
There is not enough there.
I wish I could put more money down. For me, there's about 20 or 30 pounds left.
Another tenner?
Gina, you're so lovely, I can't resist you. You shouldn't ask so nicely. Here's your £90, Gina. Can I have a happy face now?
Yes.
Have we got a deal?
Yes.
Thank you.
I think it was quite close, so I thought, no, let's just finish the job.
So Gina squeezed the last ounce of profit out of me on there. I might get a little bit more for the watch, but she got a good price.
I think Karen's quite fair, and you know, she's okay to deal with.
Think you might be all right, Karen. Coming up, our Karen can be a right tease.
Now, you don't know if I'm going for tenors or 50s, do you?
Well, I hope it's 50s.
Unlucky for you, it's a tenner.
No.
What is it with our girls today?
You could possibly tickle someone to death with that one.
I've heard people say that about you, actually.
But who will have the last laugh? Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal from Wolverhampton. It's Robert's turn next. He knows what he's got and what it's worth.
I've bought an Irish bog oak truncheon, which I got from the internet around 2 years back, and it cost me around about 30 quid. I think I need about 60 to 70 pounds if it was at fair price.
My experience of buying anything that's Irish bog oak has always been very good, in as much as I haven't owned it for very long, which is the ideal item for a dealer.
Let's see the colour of your money first, Debbie.
Robert, tell me what you brought in.
Well, I believe it's an Irish bog oak truncheon from late Victorian age.
Right. Do you know anything about its history?
Nothing at all, other than the shamrocks on it suggest it's Irish.
Yes.
A friend of mine suggested because of its shortness, maybe linked to the naval rather than the police force, but I'm not sure at all.
I mean, another idea is it might be more like a gaff or a priest. Have you heard of
I've heard of a priest.
A priest,
Yeah.
which is obviously for knocking out a fish when you bring it in.
Yeah.
So it could be more of an angler's type item, rather. I mean, it's rather short for a truncheon, although it does have some weight to it. This bog oak is renowned for being heavy.
Yeah, yeah.
It's interesting. I'm just going to get my glasses on, so I'm half blind without them. What you've got, as you pointed out, is these shamrock details on it, which have been very primitively carved. Did you notice that there's a shamrock on the end as well?
Yeah.
You did, you noticed that?
Yeah.
And also, I believe that if you're creative enough with your mind, this is a harp. This is the edge of the harp, and it comes up and rounds the bog oak design, rounds here, and this creates a sort of harp shape, and again, screamingly Irish in terms of the decoration.
Yeah.
How did you come to own it?
By mistake more than anything. I tend to collect Art Deco china, and I was looking on one of the internet sites, and there it was, and the price tag seemed reasonable, so I thought I'd have a little punt on it, and there you go.
I do know as a dealer that they're very collected.
Yeah?
So should I get some money out, Robert?
Let's see what damage you can
I
do.
sense that you might tell me when you've had enough money, is that right?
I'll stop you at when I don't want to be greedy.
Okay. So, 20, 40 quid. How does that sound?
A little on the low side, I
A little
think.
on the low. I agree. 50 quid.
I think you can go a little bit more.
You think I could go a little bit up?
Yeah, a little
Here
bit.
comes our helper.
Oh.
Well, I've been listening from the sidelines, and I'm going to have to pick it up. There's no real weight in that.
No, you could possibly tickle someone to death with that
Yes.
one, but nothing more.
I've heard people say that about you, actually. So, we don't think it's a truncheon, really. I think it is a souvenir from Ireland. And I have to say, the estimation, which is around 50 to 70, there is £50 on the table, but I do not believe it's worth a great deal more. I think that's a good offer.
I'm not going to put any more money on the table. I think 50 is a fairly fair offer. What do you think?
Well, I think now the Duke's sort of put his 2 pence in, and I think that's as far as we're going to go.
Yeah.
So, if it's okay with you, we'll deal.
We'll deal?
Yeah.
Happy with that?
Lovely.
Great, we'll have a handshake.
Thank you very much. I was hoping for a few more pounds, but I think we're both happy with that.
If I'm right, and I will have to do a bit more homework, I think there could be 30 to 40 pounds profit, but we'll have to wait and see.
Time will tell. Across the den, Nick is expecting the worst when he sits down with Karen.
She looks a bit hard work on the television because I'm an avid fan. I would like round about 180, something like that.
See Mr. Moorcroft is putting in an appearance on the show yet again, and very welcome it is too.
Mick, you could have Karen all wrong.
So how did you come to have them?
I like auctions and I like antique fairs, and I've picked them up while I've been around on my travels.
Yeah? How long ago did you buy these pieces?
Roughly 6 to 7 months. Something
Oh, not long then?
No.
So why have you come today to sell them soon afterwards?
I've been ordered, I've got a download.
You've had the order,
I've
have
had
you?
the orders.
So it's her indoors, is
That's
it?
her indoors.
So let's have a look at this. We've got now, I believe that pattern is hibiscus.
Yes.
Yeah. So we've got this beautiful yellow flower, this gorgeous pink flower with this almost sort of turquoisey green ground, haven't we?
Yeah.
And the way Moorcroft was made was they do like what they call this tube lining, which is very, very watery clay, and that would be piped to give the outline, and then it would be infilled by decorators. So it's all on the back with Moorcroft, isn't it?
Yes.
And we've got the Queen Mary label, we've got the William Moorcroft sort of monogram.
Are you sure that's William or Walter?
I think that one's William,
That's
not
an early
Walter.
piece then.
It's an older piece, this
Yes.
one, yeah. Now Walter, who you mentioned, is his son,
Yes.
and William died in about 1940 something, didn't he? and then his son Walter took over. So it may be on the turn, that one. This one is a later piece. That is a little pin tray, yeah?
Yeah.
Technique is exactly the same. We've got hibiscus again with the green leaves, and the blue on blue makes it a little bit rarer, doesn't
Yes,
it?
it does, yeah.
Now, you bought them 6 months ago, so you paid sort of current prices, haven't you?
Basically, yes.
Yeah. Now, what you have to remember
Yes,
is that I'm a dealer,
yes.
and there's that horrible word called...
Profit, that's
Right, okay. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Now, you don't know if I'm going for tenors or 50s, do you?
Well, I hope it's 50s.
Unlucky for you, it's a tenner.
No, no.
£110.
No, it's not enough for the one, actually. What I paid for the one.
120.
Well, estimates from our independent valuers and auctioneer starts around about the 120 mark and goes up to 180. How far out are you think?
I would say
They probably owe you about 200 quid, don't they?
Somewhere around that, yes.
Well, I don't think you're going to get the 200 back. So I think at this stage you'd say, well, to hell with it, I'm going to go to the auction, I'm going to try it. You never know, there might be somebody who's a real Moorcroft nut out there who will pay a bit more. There is a gamble at the auction and a reasonable chance, but I don't think you'll come out a lot better.
I'm going to add a tenner to the pot. So you've got to weigh that up. You can have £130 of my hard-earned money today, or you can take a chance at auction.
I think I'll have to take it to auction, Karen, because I couldn't squeeze you for a bit more. No.
A fiver. That's all I go. 135, just as a gesture.
It's not enough, Karen.
No, I can see you disappointed. I don't want you to go home disappointed. So you should at least make that. Let's put it that way.
Well, I hope I'd make that for one, but never mind.
We'll have to find out.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, good luck
Cheers.
in auction then.
Thank you very much, Karen.
It's very difficult when you've just laid out money to take a drop in it.
It may be a big gamble on what I paid out for the items. Hopefully I should get my money back at least. If not, it's just one of those things.
That's the attitude, Mick. What does today's auctioneer Richard Winterton reckon to that?
If they're going to end up with more at the end of the day, I'm not quite so sure, but we'll see how it goes.
Let's get straight to the auction and we'll find out.
Now this Moorcroft, you've upped the reserve to £200, which I think is being a bit optimistic. What do you think? Is it going to sell or is it going to go home? Let's find out.
£70 the Moorcroft, £70, £80, £80, £90, or 100, 110. 110 bid, 120, 130, 130 bid, 140.
That's past what Karen bid for it on the dealer's day.
150, 150, 150, 150, 150. Any more coming in? 150,
Slow down now.
150, all finished, 150. Not sold.
Okay. It stopped at £150 in the room here. It didn't sell. Disappointed?
No, I'll take them on, it's no problem.
On the day, didn't quite make the reserve, the new reserve of £200. I'm going back to Karen, our dealer, our 130 quid. You were right on the ball there, Karen. They were really what they were worth.
Just goes to show if you've paid top whack, you should perhaps keep things a little longer before moving it on. Better luck next time. Still to come, John tries buttering up Stuart.
I can't remember 47, but I was around.
He was around?
Yes.
You don't look that old.
Oh, thank you very much, thank you.
But will flattery get him anywhere?
Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal.
John's about to sit down with the opposition, but will Stuart give him his vote?
I've got some political letters from Edward Heath and Harold Macmillan. I bought them from a car boot for £20. I would like £50 to £60.
Certainly previous Prime Ministers or things like that have always got a value to them.
Certainly have. John, you could be onto a winner here.
Interesting little parcel of signed letters. All seem to be politicians, House of Commons, those sort of things, Admiralty. Quite interesting though. Tell me a bit about them if you wouldn't mind.
Well, believe it or not, I got them from a car boot.
Did you really?
Yeah. It's a very unusual thing to find on a car boot.
Yeah. Okay. Looking at them briefly as I did, it's not government restricted information. They are letters of from one politician maybe to another, or thanking. What's the one most interesting?
I think the one with maybe with Ted Heath when he was Prime Minister. Well, I think they had the miners' strike or something.
Very interesting. Amazing, a car boot sale.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not a fortune, but they're certainly worth you bringing them here today.
2 Prime Ministers at a car boot sale.
Obviously, we've got Ted Heath here. That's a 1967 letter. We've got Harold Macmillan. This was 47.
Yeah.
I can't remember 47, but I was around.
You was around?
Yes.
You don't look that old.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. William Whitelaw, I know the name. I don't know much about him, actually. Another one from the Admiralty, but we're talking 40s, 50s, 60s era, which, apart from the age of them, I just think that guy Ted Heath, I mean, I used to read about him and see him occasionally, and he was a character.
Yeah.
And he actually wrote that. That's his signature,
Yeah.
Ted. There's one thing getting an autograph from somebody in a book,
Yeah.
and there's another thing having a bit of official headed paper with his name on.
Yeah.
How long have you had them?
I've had them about 12 months.
Not that long though. Not that long.
No.
And it's time to sell them, or you just?
I just move stuff on if I can, because I've got that much stuff.
Yeah.
From car boots.
Goodness knows where I'm going to hit a price for them, but we'll see if we can come to some agreement. $20, $40, $60, $80, $100. Car boot sale. I always go on the basis that most things in car boot sales don't cost very much money.
Sometimes they do.
But on the basis that they did, they put some more money on the tables. 120, 140, 160 pounds. I suspect that's slightly more than what you were thinking. And
No.
Oh.
Bit less.
Is it really? Well,
Bit
you'd
less.
have to say that, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I think I'll go with that.
Okay, you're not sure. You're not sure.
I could do another 20, but
160 pounds.
Okay.
You?
Yep.
Excellent.
Yep. Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
And now you've got to tell me, car boot, you said some things are a bit expensive.
Yeah.
Do you mind telling me how much they cost?
£20.
£20
Yeah.
each?
No. I was looking for £60 for them. To come away with 160, I'm over the moon.
I'm surprised the off-screen estimate was so low. I think £10 to £15 for each of the letters is the right money to pay. I couldn't pay them any less.
That's very honourable of you, Stuart. The den is alive with the sound of music today.
How'd you do?
Carlo is next and has brought David a music box and is expecting a bit of a tussle.
I'm not going to give it away. I'd like to get about £100, £150, maybe a little bit more. Mike Tyson, Frank Bruno, that much of a fight.
And David's making a little jab already.
It would involve quite a lot of money in order to restore it and get it up to scratch.
We want to see a fair fight, boys.
Oh, yeah.
Round 1.
What have you brought in for us today?
I understand it's an old Swiss music box. I'm not sure quite of the date. That's basically all I know about it.
Right, well, let's have a look at it. We've got a very nice box, which is actually simulated rosewood. It's painted over to make it look like rosewood with an inlaid flower in the top. And let's open it up, and we have a Victorian music box. And if we look at the top, National Music Box. I don't know if that's the maker or not. And we've got a list of 10 tunes, so this music box will play 10 different tunes. Let's open it up for the moment and see if we can get it to play. We have 2 different levers here. This one changes the tune, and this one should start and stop the machine, but it's not working. But if we give it a little helping hand,
It's a sale.
it has the potential of playing. So stop her again. So it's pretty much in working condition. We're missing here one of the combs that clicks on the little pins on the roll to make the shot. Probably we're going to be missing a few of these pins as well. These are all things that can be done, but at a price. So it needs a thorough overhaul. But otherwise, it's a jolly nice object. How did you come by it?
I was handed it down by my father-in-law, of doing an extension on the house and moving things around. Don't want it to get broken, so someone might appreciate it a lot more as a music box.
Well, you know, we've got a forerunner of the record player, and so it's, you know, it's very interesting. There are collectors for these things. So let's put some money on the table. We'll see what you think.
Okay.
20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, £300. How does that sound?
I'd like to be touching a little bit more than that.
It's not really singing your tune.
Just before you say anything, let me tell you what I think about this and what our independent valuers say. They've gone in 120, 150, 150, 200. Now, in fairness, that is very conservative. I think what David has put on the table, £300, I think is a very, very good offer. I wouldn't even dare send you to auction. Take the £300, it's a good offer.
Thank you.
Sounds to me as though I've offered rather too much for this, Carlo.
Sounds like I've had a good deal from it, David.
I think you have. Are you going to take the money?
I'd say yes, I would.
Take it
I'd
and
love
run.
to do a deal.
Good. Okay, well, thank you very much indeed for
Thank
bringing
you
in
very much, David.
Such an interesting
Thank you. I was punching above my weight today, and I still won. I was looking for around, like I said, 150, and I achieved double that, so I'll come out on top, come away with the belt. It's fantastic.
Carlo walked away with the prize money. Can any of our dealers match that? Certainly not David with that box.
I know they don't sell very well at the moment, but I think I can get out of it.
He didn't. He sold it on to a restorer for £270. Karen wasn't optimistic about making money today when she paid £90 for Gina's pocket watch and chain.
So Gina squeezed the last ounce of profit out of me on there.
But she had luck on her side as she sold it on for £120. And Debbie matched that with Rob's truncheon.
There could be £30 to £40 profit, but we'll have to wait and see.
That's exactly what she got, putting her at level pegging with Karen. But she couldn't improve on that with Laura's collection of Royal Worcester.
I think I want a little bit more.
And how much is a little bit?
What do you think?
You're so good at this game.
So far, she's made 100 back on the vase, but is still out of pocket with the rest. Stuart didn't start off too well when it came to John's political letters, paying well over the valuation.
£160.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Deal.
I couldn't pay him any less.
Unfortunately for him, he's yet to sell them. But when it came to the guitar, he showed our dealers how to play hardball.
Bang another 50 quid on top of there, and you can have it.
300's my price, I'm afraid.
The gamble paid off when he reeled in the biggest profit of the day. Now, that's how to make money.
It's been a really exciting day here in Wolverhampton. Great crowd. Don't forget to join me, David Dickinson, next time for Dickinson's Real Deal. See you.